like this guest account has no powers to install software programs or change them or remove them. But an administrator, for example, has those privileges to change those preferences. So that is the user account. Then you have a folder where you save the work. We've already seen that. A subfolder is a folder inside a folder. How do we see this? For example, if I open this, let's choose this new folder. Inside it is this folder now. There is this folder called MS files. So now this MS files, this MS files is now a subfolder in the folder called new folder. Okay. Then inside it could also be files. So that is now a subfolder MS files, which is a folder in what? In the folder new files. Okay. Then if we go back to our work here, they're saying a file, a piece of work or document stored in the computer, which we've seen, like it can be inside a what? A folder. If we went back to this, so inside a folder could be what? Files. So files are categorically and organizingly stored in folders. Instead of scattering them around on your desktop, it might make the work look a bit clumsy. So folders are a way of organizing your work on your computer. Now a file has something interesting. A file has an interesting factor called an extension, an abbreviation put at the end of the file to identify the type of file. For example, doc for Excel, for Microsoft Word, XLS for Excel files, and so on. We've already seen exe for executable files or setup files, files which install programs on the computer. So the example of a file path which you can have is this. For example, C administrator desktop, Matovo, and so on and so forth. Now let us see a real life example of a file path. For example, if I open up this folder, I open up here, and I come to one of these files here. Let's make them a bit further big. Okay, now let's zoom in. So if I come to this PowerPoint file and I come to its properties, so when you look at these properties here, this is now the file path. So the work is on C, that is the local drive. On the profile user, that is how the computer was set up, since it wasn't given a name when setting it up. On the user account code 790, which we saw in the control panel, it's found on the desktop in a folder called new, in a subfolder called MS files. And up here it tells you the type of file is a Microsoft PowerPoint file with an extension of PPTX. So that is now the file extension. In order to know the file extension, you can right click the file as you saw me doing, then you come to properties, and it will tell you the extension and including the type of file. So it will tell you the path and the type of file plus its extension. Okay, if we try out something else, let's go back in this. Do we have a music file here? Let's say this Jay-Z song. People like Jay-Z. So if we right click it, to tell us that this is the type of this file is an MP3 file. So the extension it has is MP3 compressed music, opens with music. The location is C, users, the profile 790, the user account. The location is on the desktop in a folder called new folder. It's not inside the subfolder, that's why it's not bringing MS. Put it straight into the new folders icon. So that is how we see file path. You can try out those examples there, or you can check out your computer. Even your phone has file path. You can go to file manager, then you try to open those folders and you try to open other folders inside it. Then up there it will show you the file or the path through which you've passed to access that work. Now let us briefly discuss these extensions. Extensions, as we said, are identifiers of files. They help you to identify files. When we come down here, I'm going to jump a bit, then I'll come back to this, don't worry. Locating files on your computer. You can run a Windows search on the program of the PC, or you can run a utility search to find the file using any of some programs like Find, Search Everything, among others. Or you can defragment the hard drive to recognize or arrange the files in an orderly way. But this is now too much to ask, and this also is too much to ask. These two options may be a long shot. So let's classify them, or let's redact them, and we focus on these two, this option here. Programs have been developed to help search for files very fast, like Find or Search Everything. I'm going to demonstrate how we can use the extensions and the search programs. Like I'm going to use Search Everything in this case to help you see how that works. It can help you to isolate the files very fast or search for what you want very fast. For example, if I want to look for PowerPoint files which have an extension of PPT, what I will do, I'll minimize this. I'll come and open my Search Everything. This is my search program. Then let's zoom in. In its address bar here, I'll type there star. Star means all or any character. Then I put a full stop. Then I put PPT. Notice that it will only return for me PowerPoint files. But now the office I have here is a bit advanced, so if I want more of these files, I'll add on X. So you see that it has returned only the PowerPoint files, thereby helping you to declassify the work. So if I know the letter which starts the work, I can put C, then asterisk. Then you see that it will only bring back those files which are starting with C and any other characters, but being in PowerPoint. I can also go back and maybe try maybe PDF files. Okay, so if I go back to my search, I will wrap this away and I type asterisk star dot PDF, and you see only PDF files will be brought. So if I want those starting with a particular letter, I can say maybe those starting with B. I can put my cursor at the beginning there, then put B asterisk, and only those now with starting with B will come. If I'm more specific and I say BA, you'll notice that only those starting with BA will come. So basically that is how we use the extensions and the search tools to search for work on your computer. If you know this, you can't fail to locate a file on your computer. Then lastly but not least, taking care of files. You keep saving your work constantly as you work on your PC. Install antivirus to guard against viruses. Make backup copies of the files to prevent that total loss. Remember, I was telling you that if you save your works on local disk C and the computer crashes, you are likely to lose that work if you are not careful when they reinstall the computer. Use power backups or inverters to keep the power so that you don't lose work when abrupt power disappears. Delete all corrupt and unnecessary files on your PC. As I've just shown you how to delete work and where the work goes and how to delete it permanently in case you don't want. On my channel, there is a video on deleting temporary files. If you can go to my channel and search for deleting temporary files, that one also helps to remove some of those unnecessary files on your computer which might eat your space. Then store files in a safer format such as PDF to prevent them from corruption and virus infections. You ought to have a PDF creator on your computer. Like in this case, me, I have this one called Nitro. But even some Office programs create PDF files. Like the versions of 2010 and above can create PDF. But if you don't have, you can always install a PDF creator like Nitro, which I've just shown you. Always defragment the disk to enable proper arrangement of files on a disk. In a later video, we will see how to defragment the files. In how to recover missing or lost or deleted files is our last area of discussion. Before reviewing the recommendations below, verify that the files have been deleted. Okay? You may lose work accidentally or intentionally. You can delete it or the disk can become corrupt. But there are programs which are designed to recover or restore files from the recycle bin. We've just seen that. Or you can recover files from backup copies in case you save them somewhere. Or we can use a file recovery program or software to restore the deleted files. In other words, to undelete. Okay, so like on this computer I have my friend here. This is the file I use to recover work in case I have issues of data recovery when maybe a disk crashes and I need to restore work. So that is how we do that. So that is the summary of the work we did. Look at logging into our work or signing in, the process by which a user accesses or is granted access to a computer system controlled by some credentials stroke security. The features, for example, passwords and names. What you need or what is required for login include your password, in case the system is password controlled, and you might need a username. In some systems they use a signature, you can sign in. In other systems you can use fingerprints, and in other systems you can use a PIN, a personal identification number. So that is the summary of the lesson which we are supposed to have had, or which we had on Zoom. So I hope it helps you and you learn something from it. Thanks for viewing. See you next time, and don't forget to visit my channel. I'll send you the link again for those who just joined on your group, such that you can be able to access some of those videos, which can be pretty helpful. So thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.